Hello and welcome to Binary News with myself and Marta, giving you your daily dose of focused gaming news. This time on the 11th of June, we are looking at Assassin's Creed Unity. Ubisoft have spoken out on the changes they're making to the franchise, as according to them, Assassin's Creed Unity reworks the series' essentials from the ground up, altering the familiar formula in both subtle ways and far-reaching, resounding ways. Now, Unity's developers spoke out on the Ubisoft blog, speaking about how moving the development to a new generation of consoles obviously gave them quite a good opportunity to rethink the core elements such as the exploration, combat and stealth. Now, they said, and this was the creative director Alex Amancino, quote, because of these new-gen consoles, this is the first time we can fundamentally change a lot of the core mechanics and a lot of the stuff under the hood in terms of engine, game mechanics and actual game structure. It's not a reboot, it's a reinvention of Assassin's Creed for the next generation. Now, as you've probably noticed in all the gameplay trailers and little snippets that they've shown over E3, Arno, who is of course the main protagonist of Assassin's Creed Unity, can navigate the city with more natural fluidity and grace than before, and not only in climbing buildings and all that good stuff, but he can actually dart through buildings and even explore inside, which is something we haven't seen too much of. But his improved grace actually allowed the developers to pull back a little bit the worn out mechanics like the haystack waiting at the bottom of a very tall tower. Now, the combat will apparently be more proactive, and I really hope so, because, well, the combat has always been one of the weakest points of the Assassin's Creed series, and it's never really gotten any better. Now, rather than encouraging you to counter crowds of opponents with the one-hit kills, Arno is actually better served by eliminating enemies or avoiding them with a new stealth stance, which goes quite nicely with what they're calling the adaptive mission mechanic, which will let you make use of new approaches however you wish, and instead of giving you a specific action as an objective, like tell your target or kill this person or whatever, the game will task you with finding out where he's going and then dealing with it as you see fit. And one nice thing as well, which makes me very happy, as this was one of the most infuriating things about Assassin's Creed, is that rather than failing the mission if you lose sight of the target, your new objective will then become locate him, and of course will prompt new bits of reactive gameplay, which sounds a lot better than a complete mission failure because your target has spotted you, or because you've lost him because you don't want him to spot you. Now, obviously, this is going to be the first game in the franchise to offer co-op, but it will take place in specific online-only missions rather than the main campaign, but you will be able to carry over your assassin skills and equipment from one mode to another. So, a nice little bits of information there, which sounds like Assassin's Creed Unity is actually going to shake up this series quite a bit. To be honest, a lot of the things they've discussed here are basically most of the things that I've been asking for God knows how many years. The addition of a proper stealth mechanic is something that the Assassin's Creed series has needed, well, basically since its inception. Only being able to go to stealth at certain contextualized points, like when you go into a bush or in a haystack or whatever, is quite clunky and contrived, and would often lead me to getting spotted because there's not a handy bush, and for some reason this trained master assassin can't just duck behind a tree or whatever. So it's good to hear that they're finally adding that in and finally shaking up the combat. I love Assassin's Creed, it's one of my favourite franchises, and I love Ubisoft, they're one of my favourite developers. But the combat of Assassin's Creed always was felt a bit just kind of boring, and was way too much of just wait for the counter kill and mow your way through hordes of enemies. And if that's finally gotten some changes, then fantastic. It sounds like they have taken the opportunity of the next generation to finally shake up a series that was maybe feeling a little bit stale. Of course, Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag definitely changed things around in terms of the story, and kind of was the best game we've seen since probably Assassin's Creed 2. It still had, of course, the old mechanics inside, so I'm really looking forward to Assassin's Creed Unity. It's going to be awesome. Hopefully the new changes actually pan out and are what I'm picturing in my head. So we'll have to see, of course. The proof of the pudding is in the eating after all, but it sounds like they've taken all the criticisms that people have levelled at Assassin's Creed over the years and have actually been working to fix them, which is always nice, even if for some reason we're not going to be having women in the co-op because apparently it was too much work. What? Yes, that's a little bit of a side topic. I don't want to do another video on that because I wasn't ranting, but Ubisoft aren't going to be having female assassins in the co-op mode because apparently it was too much work, and I thought you were a multi-million developer with tons of resources, Ubisoft, but never mind. That besides, I'm looking forward to AC Unity. I should actually get around to finishing Black Flag at some point. I know, I'm terrible. I just get really into a game and then I get distracted. I'm like a crow who just sees shiny things on the fly. Anyway, that is me done for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.